G'day folks, Neb's back. It's awful wintry here. We got the Hyundai Santa Fe back. Well, she drove it here last night, parked it, and now it won't start today. So it's only been like 14, 15 hours and it's completely dead. You can just hear the chime, but it ain't even enough to make the starter tick. So we're gonna boost this thing, get it in, check this battery out, and she wants me to have a look at the brakes, see what's going on there. Says there's some funny noise. So funny noise in brakes is never a good thing. Let's not delay. Oh, what do you think? Think that boost pack will do the job? Wow, the battery's really dead because that boost pack was full. I think it's a bad terminal, maybe. Well, terminals like that are never what you want to see. Someone's made a quick attempt to try to clean it, but that battery's not bulged out or nothing. So I highly doubt the battery's froze, but that's not helping matters. Let's see if that did anything. It's a bad, dirty terminal. This is the one we did the viscous coupler on, and we did back brakes so that it would pass the safety. It passed, and it's back now. Clearly the battery's an issue. I think just looking at it, I think it's just a positive. The terminal's really corroded. A good cleaning would probably fix it. We'll check it in a minute here. We didn't do front brakes on this because they had been done by another shop. She's saying there's a noise in the front brakes, possibly a wheel bearing. So we're gonna rip the wheels off it here once I check for a wheel bearing and have a look at these brakes, but they look pretty good just looking through the rims. We'll see. It's refreshing not to have swollen lug nuts that you got to smash on with a hammer. Well, the only thing I'm noticing is there's no backing plate, completely rotted off. Let's have a look at those pads. So the work that I did up front, we put on struts and we put on this lower control arm. Everything there is still good. Plenty of meat on those brake pads still. There's the inside one. The outside one you can see right there. They're almost new. CV's still got a label on it. That's not old. Oh, doesn't appear to be anything wrong on this one. Okay, driver's side control arms in good shape. CV again, they've both been replaced recently, I would say, because they're got labels on them. They don't last long up here. Brake, there's your inner, plenty of meat. Outer, plenty of meat. Rotor, that's like new. Same thing here, backing plates rotted off, so no grooves. A little wet, so nothing wrong with these brakes. And check that wheel bearing, you know. Okay, I just put the wheel back on. There's nothing wrong with those brakes. No slack, no play there. Let's check the other side. Okay. Well, we got some wonkiness going on here. Feels like a ball joint. Oh, definitely. Bottom ball joint. Wheel bearing looks okay though. Okay, I'm gonna wiggle the wheel. You can look right there. Okay, brakes are fine. Gonna need a lower ball joint. Deal with this battery issue now. Getting hot in here. One of those things that everybody overlooks. No corrosion there at all. The ground side's not so bad. I mean, it's still dirty, but it's not only the terminal, but it's also the connectors here that go to the car itself. Yeah, don't laugh. It's the first screwdriver I found. Now we can get at the battery. That's ugly. Clean battery terminals are happy battery terminals. Even inside there, that's the positive terminal. You can see how corroded that is. It's supposed to be copper colored. Normally that guy will do just about all of them, but when they're this bad, you got to get a little aggressive. Little tiny wire brush on a drill goes right in there. Well, it's better. Let's put it all back together and then we'll test this battery. Let's hedge bets on whether this starts or not. As suspected, dirty terminals, not a bad battery. So let's get this put back together. Just for my own peace of mind, however, we are going to test so we can at least say we did all our due diligence with our King Bolin BM550 here. It's showing up at a 50%, but it hasn't really been fully charged, so it's fine. Okay, ball joints in these are pretty easy. There's the nut you got to take off right there, and then once you got it off, you just drive the bolt out. Ball joint's located here, and then it's held in with just a little C-clip, and then you kind of knock it out. They can get pretty rusty and nasty, but that's about as easy a ball joint as you're going to find anyway. So now sometimes that bolt will turn, sometimes it won't. Mother.
Said to Micah, by the time I'm done, he might be off work. I gotta go get him in an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's off at 4, not 6.
Spanx.
There you go. Wow, King Tire actually had some.
Yeah. There we go. It's moving now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, once you got the bolt moving, it's not a big deal. Biggest thing is they rusted in. And you kind of got to clear the tie rod in, so that's why you need the extension. And you just get it all loosened up. Then you can push it right through. And they're just rusty, so gotta fight with the rust. Okay, there's the nut and bolt for the ball joint. Sometimes the kits will have new bolts, other times they won't, so it's a good idea to save it, clean it up, and try not to beat it up too much. You can see here how bad that is. There shouldn't be that kind of movement in it. Okay, there's our ball joint down. In this case, I decided to take the whole control arm assembly out because pressing these in can sometimes be a bit of a nightmare in here. So 2 bolts, one vertical right there in the front, and then the horizontal one at the back. They're nothing to get out. And pull your control arm out, and now you can see just how bad that ball joint is. Okay, now we just got to get this sloppy old messed up ball joint out of here. And there's a clip right there we need to get out. Sometimes they'll come out, other times they're rusted in pretty good. Like that one. So there's that clip. You can just see it. And it's pretty rusted in, so we're going to have to loosen it up a bit. Coming out in pieces. There we go. Alright, so the clip out, now we just got to push it out of here, and that's why I have a press. Okay, nothing to this setup. All I'm using is an old outside bearing raise from something. I don't even know what. I keep them around because different diameters come in handy. So anytime I posh out a bearing that like this, where the half of it stays or something, I just save them. I just got that sitting under there, and I got the Press right on the ball joint itself. Nothing broke free already. There you go, just like that. There's your ball joint. You don't need a press to get them out, but it certainly makes life easier. Here's your old and new. Same deal, we're just gonna press it in. Make sure when you press it, you don't push on this part, because you'll actually bend that in on top of the ball that's in here and you'll seize this up. So you wanna stick to pressing on the outside. Okay, so my normal thing, a 3/4 inch socket set. Provides 1 5/8 is perfect size for the outer flange there. Okay, there we are. New ball joint pressed in. Nothing to it. Just got to go put the clip on. Okay, we're just getting around to putting this back together. Front bolt in. Okay, front bolt with anti-seize and then the nut. There's your bolt, goes in from below. Nut goes on up here. Good healthy coat of anti-seize. Then we're going to put this back one in. All we do is slide the control arm around under the brakes. You can see the slot back there where it goes. We just got to finagle that into place. Okay, so this bolt goes in from the front back. Just needs a little taparoo. There you go. All right, the back bolt, you want to get close to ride height. You can see I don't have the ball joint in place and the control arm is sitting in a fairly relaxed position. That's close enough for government work. Woo! Control arm's back in. For the work, that's easier than trying to press it out here. There's just too much stuff in your way. All right, now what you want to do here is you want to kind of line this ball joint up with the angle on the spindle. It just makes it so much easier going in. Yeah, normally they're leaned way out like this one is. The strap was just there to take a little tension off it, make it easier to get out. Not really a necessity, and it wasn't really pulling that hard. All right, we got our ball joint pushed in. It took a bit of doing. Had to hit it with a hammer a few times, but we got her. Now we just put our bolt back in. Like so, using the wood end. And we got thread sticking out. And in this case, it's a lock nut. No cotter pins or anything like that. And all we gotta do is tighten that guy up. Should be 15, I think. The old one was. Oh, it's bigger. Like someone from work.
Yeah.
It's a 17.
It's a 17. Did I sell you the wrong ball joint, Dad?
Maybe.
Well, technically it was Keegan who grabbed it, so then you can
Maybe
blame
that's why I've
Keegan.
been fighting so hard.
3 sizes bigger.
Okay, so in this case, the nut is an 18. Yeah, not that much torque. That bolt's tight, that bolt's tight. Ball joint is now in and tight. No more movement. Nothing left to do but put the wheel on. Oh yeah, tons better. Okay folks, 2010 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is the all-wheel drive one. That's how you do your front lower ball joints. There are no upper ball joints, just lower ball joints, or just ball joints. You get the idea, there's ball joints. Really not a bad job. This one obviously is 13 years old and it's up here in the rust belt, so it took a bit of beating with a hammer and stuff to press the old ball joint out. And it was a bit of a nightmare to get back in because just rust. So anyway, it's totally doable with the control arm on the car if you have the right tools, but don't be afraid to take the control arm off and do it on a bench where it's a little easier. Anyway, we're gonna get this thing out of here, go eat some supper because it's getting late, and we'll see you on the next one.